What is going on, Warriors of Tamaris? Back again with another Call of Dragons video. In today's episode, we're going to have a look at the best infantry pairing for T4 players. If you're new here, like, share, subscribe, leave some comments down below. Let's get right into the video. Alright, Warriors of Tamaris, today we're going to have a look at the best infantry pairing for T4 players here in Call of Dragons. Before we get started, if you're going to get bundles in Call of Dragons, you can check out my PLUTOMALL link in the description section down below. Make sure you use the PLUTOMALL to buy dragon tickets for your items in the game. So let's get back on track. We're going to find out the best infantry pairing for T4 players in Call of Dragons. So let's bring it out. I'm going to show you guys the march, and then we discuss why this march is going to be the best for T4 players in Call of Dragons, and I'm going to explain why. So at the forefront, you're going to have Mr. Kuma himself, but for the deputy, you're going to make one change, and that change is going to be this hero right here known as Ella. And for the war pet, you're going to have to put the venomous lizard. So this right here is going to be the best infantry pairing for a T4 player, because your T4 is weak. This is the march that's going to give you good value based on your troop type or your troop tier, which is a T4. So we're going to explain how this is going to be the best for you as a T4 player. Where is Kuma? Okay, so here is Kuma. This is his rage skill. It is awesome, guys. One of the best rage skills in Call of Dragons, allowing you to drain as much HP as possible and make yourself as tanky as possible, helping you last long and do more damage in the process. Now, when you're building your Kuma, you're going to be looking at 5-1-1-5 as a free to play. You're going to try to get that configuration. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but Kuma is a hero that you need to max out. So what you should do is, as soon as you unlock Ella, you should try and get her to 5-5 and then 1-1, and she's going to be good to go. Now let me explain why you gotta put these two heroes together. Ella and Joren, Ella and Kuma. The reason they are gonna be the best of the best for you. Let's go back first to the infantry section in our city. We're gonna click on the infantry troop type. We go to the more information, and as you can see here, a T4 infantry has a physical defense of 203 and a HP of 233. And then when you check out a T5 infantry, the physical defense is 234 and the HP is 269, which means the T5 infantry is going to last a little bit longer on the field than the T4. When you have a T4 infantry, you won't be able to go through multiple rage skill cycles when you're fighting your enemies, because you're going to be blasted by multiple enemies and they are going to kill you as fast as possible. And to get good value, you're going to need an infantry pairing that's going to give you a lot of good value without requiring rage skill, which is why you're going to be going with Kuma and Ella. Now when it comes to Ella, her first skill is brilliant. Now it says after every 3 normal attacks launched, deals extra physical damage to the current target legion, damage factor 500, once every 3 seconds. Now this would have been nice if the chain strike could let you do more of this. Unfortunately, the devs have locked it with this 3 seconds. You can get like 5 normal attacks within 3 seconds, and it's only going to trigger this thing once because it is locked with a 3-second timer. When it comes to the second part of the skill for Ella, it says that after every 3 counter attacks launched, deals extra physical damage to the attacking legion, 180 damage factor, up to 8 times per second. So you can hit 8 different people, which is just fantastic. Well, guess what? When you have T4 legion and you go to fight into the field, this hero is going to start doing damage right away. Usually most infantry heroes get their first rage skill after maybe 5, 6, 7 seconds, which is a lot of time. And when you have a T4 legion, you are going to get killed fast. So when you have someone like Ella in your lineup, she is going to help you do as much damage as possible. And then we have Kuma, who is hands down still the best infantry hero in the game. Remember, you try and get him to 5-1-1-5. Now it's going to be a little bit difficult, but you should try and max out this final skill. because this is what makes Kuma so dangerous on the field. His rage skill is going to allow him to last long, and then this skill is going to boost the attack of the deputy, who is a damage dealer in this lineup. In this case, we're gonna have Ella. Now Ella is gonna be using that 100% attack to make this 180 hero skill damage do a lot of damage to the enemy. And you're gonna start doing it right away. Now you might be thinking, what about Goresh? Why don't I use Goresh? When you look at Goresh, Goresh has the ruthless skill. It's almost as powerful as the skill of Ella. Unfortunately, when your Goresh gets blocked, you're not going to get a lot of value from that skill. Why the heck am I looking at Urag? Where is Goresh? So Goresh is... Okay, so this is Goresh. When you look at his third skill, it's known as the Ruthless. He does some hero skill damage, but if you get blocked, you won't be getting a lot of value out of this. And when it comes to the Ella skill, it's gonna hit long range, especially those mages who are hiding far away. Even if you get blocked, you are going to get a lot of value. And Kuma is going to amplify that damage with his 100% attack and his survivability. And when you get back to Ella, you try and get her to 5-5-1-1 first. And then if you have more tokens, you can get her to 5-5-5, and then you can stop there, because Ella is also going to protect your city, which is this skill right here. I need to go to the mastery and kind of remove it. So let's see. If I go to the mastery skill over here, and then we go forget. Okay, so we have forgotten that for Ella. Now we're gonna go back and see what the skill says. So this is skill number 4, increases the garrison army's HP by 20% and removes 1 debuff every 5 seconds while garrisoned in a city or stronghold. So Ella is going to be a fantastic garrison for your city. Now you have one good pairing that is good for both open fields and protecting your city. And the good thing is you can get this Ella at a very low configuration. All of her strengths are in her first 2 skills. Now the second skill says, when hit with a normal attack, the Legion has a 50% chance to gain 1 stack of 4-leaf mark for 10 seconds, maximum 4 stacks. Each stack increases the Legion's infantry units counterattack damage by 5% and hero skill damage by 10%. So when you stack this together, you're gonna get 40% hero skill damage and then 20% counter attack. When you look at Lei Quan, you need to max out Lei Quan to get this 20% counter attack, which is not there with you all the time. You need to cast a rage skill in order to get access to this. But when it comes to Ella, just 5-5 and you have a fantastic hero to use for your account. And this 40% hero skill damage is going to work well with skill number 1, and it's going to synchronize very well with the 4th skill of Mr. Kuma. So this hands down is the best pairings for T4 infantry in Call of Dragons if you want the absolute best value on the field, because T4 are not as strong as T5, which means you won't be able to cast a lot of rage skill, and a lot of the other infantry, they require you to cast rage skill to do some good stuff on the field. But when it comes to Kuma and Ella, you are going to get some good stuff. In terms of the war pet, you're going to build yourself a venomous lizard, which looks a little something like this. If you have 7 skill slots, which is what most people are going to get, just build your venomous lizard the way you see it here on the screen. Now, if you get 8 skill slots with some good attributes, you can then add one of the booster skill for the infection. And that skill is going to be this one right here, the intense infection. You don't need to put the other infection, the one that you buy from the end of the season. You don't really need that for your venomous lizard, which is advanced infection. Don't waste your arm burst on this skill. You don't need it. So for 8 skill slot, you're going to take intense infection, drop it over here, and your venomous lizard is good to go. In terms of the artifact, you're going to have to use the Serpent's Edge. This is the one that you use. This is the artifact that works well with Kuma. It's got some HP. It's going to be very good when you use it in your city. This is going to help you big time in your city when you're defending, especially when you have Kuma. So yeah, this is gonna be awesome for your account as a T4 player. Now, in terms of investment, you try to get Ella to 5-5 first, and then you leave her like that. Then you try to get Kuma to a very good spot. Your best option is to try and max him out as fast as possible. Once you have Kuma at a good spot, you can then come back and try to finish off Ella. Maybe get her to 5, 5, 5, and then 1. And that should be good for most players for open field. Of course, it's good to max her out, but if you can't, you can use this hero at a very low configuration, because Kuma's 100% attack is going to take Ella to the next level. You just need to max out these first 2 skills and you are good to go. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the best infantry pairing for T4 players in Call of Dragons. Now, when it comes to talent tree, this is what I am using. I like going with March Speed, but if you don't like March Speed, you're going to take this hero skill. And then the next one here, you're going to take this overall defense, which is the way to go. And then over here, you can take the hero skill as well if you want, because you're not caring too much about rage skill from here. You're going to boost Ella. Your T4 is not going to last long, so you take as much damage as possible. So the hero skill thingy are the one you grab, or you can come to this side of the tree as well. It looks good. So this is what I'm using. When you get to the end over here, you're going to need to put ready for battle, because this skill is going to help Ella with her first skill. It's going to let Ella do this a lot more often. So you want to take that skill for Ella. And then with the war pet, you're going to have to put the counter strike as well. This counter strike is going to help Ella activate her first skill more often. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the best infantry pairing for T4 players in Call of Dragons. You need to get as much value as possible, because your T4 is not as tanky as a T5. It doesn't last long on the field. So you need to do as much damage as possible before you get killed. You go Kuma primary, Ella as the deputy, with the venomous lizard and the serpent's edge. If you don't have the serpent's edge, you can go with what we call the spirit-born torque, which you can get from the Titan's Legacy now. It's there. It's easy for you to max it out. Where is the spirit-born torque? This one right here. You can use this. Thank you, ladies, for watching. If you're new here, subscribe for more content. If you're going to be buying Dragon tickets from the PLUTOMALL, check out my link in the description section down below. Until then, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye for now.